Hey everyone, Daniel from Spacedock here. We've just finished rewatching one of my favourite films, the original Starship Troopers, directed by Paul Verhoeven. The film features a planetary assault launched from orbit against the arachnid homeworld of Klendathu, and as part of the film's fantastic satirical overtones, the invasion is portrayed as being comically poorly planned and incredibly overconfident. And for entertainment purposes, I'm now going to explain everything wrong with their plan in excruciating detail. So, they know exactly where the planet they want to attack is. It's on the opposite side of the galaxy from Earth, but they have a battle station nearby called the Ticonderoga, which they're using as a staging ground. The fleet they assemble to attack the planet is large, but comprised entirely of the same class of warship, described only as a corvette transport. These ships are ostensibly assault craft, dedicated almost entirely to the deployment of troops, and carrying only limited weapon systems, though some of the ships seem to have been refitted with large, flat-top launch bays for wings of bombers. Though this fleet composition may seem foolish, it does make some sense, as they believe the bugs to be incapable of engaging spacecraft. It seems that no reconnaissance of any kind has been performed prior to this attack, but they do have some kind of nebulous intelligence report claiming that what seem to be bugs with surface-to-space acid weapons are in fact unable to damage or even target human warships. This intel proves to be spectacularly false a few seconds after the Earth ships arrive, and the fleet immediately loses numerous vessels. Thanks to the ridiculously tight formation adopted by the humans, the damaged and destroyed vessels begin to slam into each other and cause mass collisions with tens of thousands of casualties. The humans then deploy a huge wave of infantry dropships and send them straight toward the planet's surface, without performing any kind of bombing attack or orbital bombardment to clear the landing zone. Because no effort was made to destroy any of the bug acid weapons, they proceed to destroy dozens of dropships during the approach. At this point, the fleet in orbit is in such chaos that they can't deploy any more waves to support the troops that they just dropped, but in spite of this, they don't order the first wave to abort. When the remaining dropships finally land, it becomes apparent that nobody thought armoured vehicles, heavy weapons, air support, surface reconnaissance, or artillery would be needed for this attack, and instead they simply charge all of their troops in scattered formation toward the enemy. To their credit, the human infantry units immediately see the tactical significance of the bugs' anti-space weapons and destroy them, though the second wave can't be deployed at this point, so this only really lowers the threat to the scattered human fleet. The humans then split their weakened infantry force into two columns and separately charge them into about 1,000 9-foot-tall arachnid killing machines. This plays out about as well as you would expect. Earlier in the film, we see that briefings are publicly broadcast, which indicate a specific weak spot in an arachnid's nerve stem, which allows a rifle to kill the creature in a single burst. In spite of this apparently well-known vulnerability, every human soldier in this attack fires wildly at almost every square inch of the creatures except this weak spot, and as a result it seems to take 3 or 4 soldiers working together to bring down a single foe through concentrated fire. We now learn that while the humans didn't deploy any heavy weapons or tanks in their first wave, they did bring a war reporter and a camera crew, who attempt to record a live news report from the front lines and are quickly eviscerated, potentially even causing the death of numerous troopers who could not properly withdraw because they had to defend them. After what's left of the human ground force is finally evacuated from the planet, we learn that over 100,000 military personnel were lost in the first hour of the Klendathu attack. After this cataclysmic display of strategic stupidity, the commander of the human military resigns in disgrace and is replaced. The new commander declares that a bold and innovative new strategy is needed for the next invasion, so as not to repeat the mistakes of Klendathu. Judging by the rest of the film, this new strategy seems to involve performing a single bombing run, establishing an outpost in hostile territory, which seems to be constructed entirely out of tarpaulins and corrugated steel, and then holding that outpost for approximately 14 seconds before losing it in a similar massacre. So I guess the message of this video is, if you ever find yourself conducting a planetary invasion, don't use Starship Troopers as a guideline. This is Daniel from Spacedock, signing off.